Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2019 mid-month general reading. So we're looking at the last half of March, the last couple of weeks, the 15th through the 31st. Welcome to any newcomers and welcome back to any followers and subscribers. Thank you, always a thank you to those of you who continue to follow my YouTube channel and for taking the time to send in your support and feedback and comments. Always appreciated and welcome. And a big thank you to all of my clients out there, regular and new, for keeping me so busy, always so very happily and joyfully busy with personal one-on-one readings. And for those of you who are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, as my regulars know, you can get more info and contact details by clicking on the description link below. You can also go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on the little About button there. Feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours with more information. And scheduling is pretty timely too. I do readings full-time 5 to 6 days a week. It is the sum total of what I do. So I work pretty diligently with both my schedule and yours to get you a reading in as timely a fashion as possible. I do a wide variety of readings of all different types and lengths and costs. So if you're interested, send me an email and we'll go from there. All right, let's move right into this. This reading is for the water sign of Cancer, our Cancerians, our lovely crabs, for the last half of March 2019, the 15th through the 31st. Remember that general readings always resonate a little differently for everybody, so if you know your rising and moon sign, watch those videos as well. All right, Cancer, let's see what's in store for you for the last half of March. Okay, Cancer, we begin with the Ten of Wands, followed by Justice in the reverse. We have Judgment, followed by the Six of Cups. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the last half of March is the Nine of Swords. Never like seeing that card. So the Nine of Swords is overall energy. I mean, I never like seeing this card for anybody because it represents a lot of stress, anxiety, worry, fear. But it's usually about overthinking, circular thinking, focusing only on the negative aspects of a situation, fearing the worst. This card usually comes up when what you're fearing is what might potentially happen, like a future, which my kids always say, you know, it's future tripping, trying to anticipate what's going to happen in the future. What am I going to do if this happens? What am I going to do if this doesn't happen? But always anticipating the very worst possible outcome, focusing on the negatives of a situation until it becomes actually worse and bigger than the reality of the situation actually calls for. I mean, the source of your fears, the basis of them might be valid, but this is about overthinking and fearing the worst all the time. So somewhat illusionary energy, which is the positive aspect of this card. I don't think it's as bad as all that. Let's pull a clarifying card for that Nine of Swords. I mean, it definitely looks like perhaps in a relationship or a partnership of some kind, whether it's love and romance or friend or family or work, it looks like somebody is feeling like the scales are way unbalanced, way uneven, and you feel like you're shouldering the burden of the responsibility and the burden of the work, and that there's a decision that you need to make because of that. Because the Justice in the reverse clarifies that Ten of Wands, which is feeling very overburdened and it either coming to an end or needing to come to an end, because tens do represent the circle closing. It can represent cycles ending or coming full circle, or absolutely needing to be, because it's such a heavy burden. You're carrying it successfully but still can't stand up straight. There's an implication that the end is in sight though. And Justice in the reverse, which is the scales being out of whack, unbalanced, too much weight on one on you, and you just can't keep this up anymore. And there's this stress energy. So let's clarify that Nine of Swords, although the reading kind of clarifies it too. But like there's too much burden on you, or you feel like there's too much. You're carrying too much of the burden, too much of the work, too much. the devil. This is imbalance, significant, profound imbalance, like this justice in reverse. It's not fair. The scales are way out of whack. Now, because that's fundamentally the nature of the devil. Temperance is on the opposite end of the devil. That is the perfect expression of balance. Perfection is absolute balance, and it's actually a fluid event. It's not a destination. You're constantly changing to balance things out. The devil is on the other end of the spectrum. The scales are way out of whack. Now, this card can come up for addictions of all different kinds, toxic relationships, power and control issues, strong temptations and vices, which is the fundamental nature of imbalance. It means that there's too much in one area to the detriment and exclusion and harm of everything else and everyone else. So too much weight, too much focus, too much obsession. And I feel like you're obsessing quite a bit over this as well. So it's all about this negative imbalance. There's too much weight, or you feel like you're carrying too much of the load, or you're carrying all of the load. The weight of something is on you. There's responsibilities, duties, obligations, whatever it is. And because it's a general reading, general readings are kind of tricky in that they resonate a little differently. This could be in a personal partnership, like love romance, or with a friend or with a family member. It could be a partnership at work, or just at work itself, or some project or group of people you're working with. It feels like you're carrying the burden of it. You're carrying all the weight. And what clarifies it is justice in the reverse. You know, in the upright, it's the right thing. It's the even thing. It's the, you know, you reap what you sow. What you put in is represented in what you get back out of that. It's equality. It's karmic equality. So in the reverse, it's, you know, the scales once again are out of whack. It's not fair. It's not just, because you're the one carrying the majority, if not all of the burden. There's all this stress around it. Now, for some of you, this devil could represent, maybe perhaps if this is a personal relationship or partnership, like emotionally personal. The devil can represent addictions. It could be perhaps that you are in partnership or in a relationship with somebody who struggles with addiction issues, and because of that, you're the one left to carry the burden of your day-to-day life. It could be that for some of you as well. Now, next to that, we have Judgment and the Six of Cups. Judgment often shows up when a decision has to be made, and the implication of judgment is that it's a big decision, and it's going to have pretty long-lasting ramifications, meaning there's an air of finality about judgment. Whatever you choose, whatever you decide, whatever path you take, it's going to set the stage for something for quite some time to come, both in the message you send to the people around you and the message you send to yourself. You're not going to be able to reverse it or reverse it easily. So no spontaneous or impulsive decisions here, because this is going to kind of lay the groundwork for what's to come for quite some time. So I think a decision needs to be made here, because I don't think you can continue operating under this level. So what clarifies judgment is the Six of Cups, which is a card that's often associated with the past. It could be someone from your past, or someone that you're with, that you've been with for a long time, like a long-term marriage, partnership, friendship, job, etc. Roots of origin, parents, childhood, where you grew up, that sort of thing. Also referenced as one of the soulmate cards as well. Again, for some of you, it might be a romantic relationship or a marriage or long-term partnership of that sort. Because I do feel like we're looking at whatever the situation is, whether it's this particular relationship, a different kind of relationship, or maybe your relationship or duties at work or in a project. The scales are way out of whack. You're stressed out. You're carrying all the weight of it, or you feel like you are, and a decision needs to be made. I think the challenging thing here, Cancer, is that the decision is influenced by the fact that you have history with this person or this job. I think it's something or someone that you've been with for quite some time. For a smaller portion of you, this could be somebody from the past, somebody that you did have this relationship or partnership with. They may be coming up again, and it's causing a lot of stress because you're thinking about the past and how imbalanced it was. And do I even need to explore getting back into this again? Although for the majority of you, I feel like it's the first kind of thing. So let's pull some advice card. Your cards are just like jumping all over the place. Okay. The Three of Pentacles, which is partnership and collaboration. As advice, it represents that in order to make a decision on what you need to do moving forward from this. The Three of Pentacles is about working with another person or a group of people, if this is like at work or in a project with other people or something. This is a card that represents successful partnership or collaboration that comes from your ability to compromise and negotiate with everybody that you're in this relationship with, whether it's one personal intimate relationship or whether a group of people, because this is the partnership collaboration card, which means in order to successfully partner with somebody else, there's compromise and negotiation. What does that mean? It means that everybody agrees on a common goal. There's something to be accomplished, something to be built, and it's about everybody kind of getting together and working together to accomplish that. Different people, different opinions, different ideas, different skills. They might not always agree, but it's about agreeing on what's really important and kind of giving and taking and compromising on the smaller things. So you have to agree on what's important and kind of work from there. That's successful teamwork and collaboration. So that's part of your advice here. Should you choose to see if this thing is workable or fixable. This is about working on it to see if you can. As I always say, we live in a free will zone. You can at any point choose to walk away from this. But it looks like you have a lot of history, so it's worth exploring. The Two of Cups, which is the one of the other traditional soulmate cards, along with the Six of Cups. So I do feel like this is somebody you've been with or some situation you've been in for quite some time. And the Seven of Cups, which is very clear advice on thinking realistically and not having your head in the clouds, because the Seven of Cups is a very dreamy illusion, building castles in the sky, multiple options and opportunities. Nothing wrong with that. I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a ballerina, I want to be this, that, and the other thing. Each goal is realizable if you set it and you do the work to get towards it. But this is a card about kind of fantasy, daydreaming, very dreamy, illusionary energy. You need to be practical. You need to look at all of these options to figure out which one is the most, realizable and practical. This is about to look at something realistically. So, and be practical and grounded about it. Even if it's emotional, it's not that you set emotions aside or divorce yourself from emotions completely. But the Seven of Cups can be not paying enough attention to, the reality of a situation, which just Six of Cups can sometimes mean too, looking at something through rose-colored glasses. And I'm all for being optimistic and positively oriented. That's kind of my nature. But you also need to pair that with an amount of, especially in this, I've been with this person for a long time, or I've been in this job for a long time. That doesn't, and it's because of the weight of that history, it's worth exploring if indeed we need to work together so that some of this pressure gets lifted off me, because it's not fair, it's not just, it's not even. But just because you have a lot of history in something doesn't necessarily mean you have to stay with it for the rest of your life either. So it's about kind of balancing some realistic energy here, and seeing if you can work together and collaborate together in a way where everybody is sharing an equal burden of the work the majority of the time, because it can't be 50-50 all of the time, and we have good days and bad days, and sometimes we're supporting more and sometimes we need more support. But overall, we want to reverse this and put it back in the upright position. So Cancer, that pretty much wraps up your March 2019 mid-month reading from the 15th to the 31st. I hope that you found it helpful and useful, at least on a practical way, because that kind of feels like what it's like. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, please click on the description link below or go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on that little about button. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you. I do love and romance, of course, compatibility chartings, reconciliation potential. I do readings for career, work, and finance and investments, gift readings, and I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming in your life in all the main areas over a 6 or 12-month period of time, depending on how far ahead you want to look. They both cost the same. So There's a few different options there for you. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also provided. And there's a few different options for readings there too. But I think it's really great for quick answers to the really quick, easy questions. Traditional readings are complicated issues. Best to do a more traditional reading. So anyway, there's a variety of options when we live in this technologically savvy world. So Cancer, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the April 2019 general readings. Until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care. Bye-bye.